Hey, what's up, turtles? It's Krik here with Black Owl Outdoors. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Gerber FliK multi-tool. This is the case it comes in. This nylon case has a little bit of a belt loop here to wear on the hip, which is nice. I like the feel of the nylon. One complaint of it, the hook and loop here for the fastening, just definitely feels like it's already been worn out. Doesn't have a good contact. And I want to preface all this by saying that I'm really unbiased with my approach to this Gerber. As it stands, I'm not a huge fan of Gerber products. I don't think their quality is that great, but I do think they make things that are worthy for a review, and this being one of the tools. Stony and I share his opinion, as a lot of other people that share our opinion as well, but Gerber has their place, and I just want to emphasize and just make sure I'm setting that straight before I do this review on it. So the FliK came out on itself. The FliK is actually, this is not a butterfly design, meaning I don't open this up as you would a traditional style multi-tool. The plier head comes out of here. It's a quick motion, I'll try to do it. The plier heads come flying out of here and then they open up as such. And get this down real quick. Closed length of this, 4.4 inches. Weighs 8.75 ounces, constructed out of stainless steel. Overall length when pliers are out, I think 5.8 inches. So, you know, definitely large enough, fit in my hand as a comparison. This is a closed length, 4.4 inches. Sort of the medium-sized multi-tool, if you will. But what's nice about this, stay down there, Stony, is, say this is on my hip, right? And I'm doing something with my other hand, I want to use it, right? I can take this out. I was holding the seat. I can flick it open. I got the pliers all one-handed. I'm ready to use this tool. I don't need my second hand to open this up, to butterfly it open. And to close it, there's one here and one on this side. When I press both of those in with my index and my thumb, I close that up and it retracts. I can put this in and out to use the pliers all in one go, which is really nice depending if you're a tradesman, contractor, anyone who wants to use this. Maybe if I'm holding an object up here and I'm like, crap, I need a set of pliers. I don't have to. I can still hold on to an object, flick this out, get in, use it, put it back in, all in one hand, all while you're only using one hand, which is really nice. I really like the design of this with the pliers, the FliK. You know, with any type of technology, any piece of tool, the more moving parts, the more chances there are for failure. That's just the way it goes. Could this be constructed a little bit stronger if Leatherman made this design? Maybe. I don't know. But nonetheless, I think it's a really cool design. And for the price and the use you're going to use it, it's not a bad. But moving on to the features of it. On this plier head, I have a needle nose right here. Let me get a quick pointer. The needle nose portion right here, bugs are bad today. Air is so stale today and humid. Needle nose up here, a larger plier right here, this sort of opening for a larger task, to grip a bigger piece of whatever you want to use this for. And there's wire cutters down here right towards the moving parts of this. And you really want to be conscious on any multi-tool you're using to cut these wire cutters. You don't want to do anything, you don't want to stress these too much, because if you bend these, you can render them kind of useless, and really changing out plier heads on a multi-tool isn't that really, something you want to do, as opposed to potentially another tool you can unscrew. So just be conscious of that on any multi-tool you have, of what you're trying to cut with this and trying to pry with. With that being said, if I don't want these open, all the tools are accessible from the outside, so I don't even have to pull the pliers out to get to the other tools, which is nice. Again, like I said, if you're going to be using this for work, you can get all these out one-handed, all the larger tools one-handed. And I'll just start and show you right here. On this side, one hand opening is the straight blade. I'm going to use my second hand to pull it out and open. I think this blade is about around 2 1/4. I'm sharp enough. I'm not sure of this design type. What is this tip called? I don't know. It looks almost tactical, like you want to puncture something with this. With the way this is pointed, and it comes sharp. And the edge angles look pretty darn good, honestly, considering it's a Gerber. They look even. They look at a pretty good. They look pretty dang even. You know, and as a tool, as a knife goes, a small knife on this, it's kind of a rotten piece of wood on the outside, but you know, it's a small little knife on a multi-tool. It pretty much, you know, they are what they are at this point. You know, if you wanted a big blade, obviously, you wouldn't want to use this. But another nice thing about this tool I want to touch on is that every tool locks. That all these tool locks. The tools lock, excuse me. And how to take this down, I just press this little lever here, or this little sliding piece of metal. Once I move that down, and then this unlocks, which is nice. Moving on, there's two little small tools right in here, and this is assisted opening. When I slide the unlocking mechanism, when I slide that, to pick that up, how they push up a little bit. These small tools in the middle, when I push those, they pull up a little bit to help you get these out. I'm gonna use two hands for this. Well, here we have a can opener. It's a little small can opener right there. And next to that we have this sort of, I think they call this a cross driver, but it's basically just a flattened type Phillips head screwdriver. Nice little tools. And on this side here is a little saw. I think this is 2 3/4. Actually, here, walk over this tree. I'll cut a little piece off of it. And honestly, me personally, when I'm looking for a multi-tool, because the things I like to do and when I'd use a multi-tool, one of the first things I look for, make pretty light work of this. One of the first things I look for in a multi-tool is whether it has a saw or not. Because I use little saws a lot like this. I like little saws. It's my personal preference. So, you know, kind of getting back to the philosophy of how a tool is going to be used and if it's good for you, is that, you know, particularly I like this FliK, one, because it's cool, it's one hand, and two, there's a saw on it. I really like saws. And that's what I look for in a multi-tool. I want a saw. If you don't have a use for a saw, you know, then you don't have to worry about looking for a multi-tool that has one. With that being said, I'm keep moving on to the other side. On this side we have the serrated knife blade. And again, it locks when it's fully extended into locking position. This is 2 1/4 inches of the serration on here. Maybe a little 2 1/8 with this last one, but again, I really don't use serrated knife blades, so if this multi-tool didn't have one, it wouldn't be any love lost. You know, I really don't use them that much. I really don't care if it has it. This one does. Maybe, you know, you'll use it. You use serrated knives a lot. You know, something to think about is what you're going to use the tool for, and you know, if it works for you. I'll put that one back. I'll just open these smaller ones on here, and we have two flat drivers, two flathead screwdrivers. A larger one right here, maybe that's a 1/4. Looks around a 1/4, right around a 1/4, and a smaller one here. Get some light to shine off that. It's getting really dark out here. And you can pry a little bit with this if you wanted to pry something, but I'm telling you right now, once it's locked, there's still a little bit of play. You might not be able to pick it up, maybe you can. But as I'm going back and forth with this, I can feel there's already a little bit of play in this, so I definitely wouldn't try to pry using a lot of my strength, because I wouldn't want to damage this. It's not meant to pry, but you could do a little bit with it. And finally on here is a pair of scissors. Again, I really like multi-tools that have a pair of scissors. Not sure why, I just like it. For me, saw and scissors are like a huge thing on multi-tools. Ever since I had a small little keychain Victorinox when I was a little kid, you know, 10 years old or younger, I always liked scissors on them. And these are heavy duty. These, with this little piece of metal here and the tension it's putting, this feels very, very strong. It doesn't feel flimsy. I'm getting a lot of resistance pushing on this, and that means I can cut things thicker. I can cut things, you know, with more control. And all these large tools, that there's 4 of them, I'm gonna put that away. There's 4 of them, there's 2 on each handle, right? Like I said before, they can all be opened with one hand, which is nice. All can be opened with one hand. I think that's sort of, you know, the reason Gerber got this. Like I said, and the FliK plier head. One-handed design. So, are there better multi-tools in this? You know, higher little quality? Absolutely. for 45 bucks, is this a good tool? Yeah, I do think so. Are you going to be using this every day, professional grade, all day? Is this the tool for you? Maybe not. You know, that's why things are considered professional grade standard, because they're used every day. They're meant to take use and wear every single day, all the time. This, you know, Gerber isn't really making products like that, so you have to just think why you want this and how much you're going to use it. You don't have to buy a $150 multi-tool or $100 multi-tool if you're going to be using it a couple times a year. You know, so I just want to really emphasize that I'm really big into it, and I know Stony is as well, is buying the product and you know, the piece of gear that you're going to use, and it's going to be the best for you. If you have the money to buy really expensive things all the time, I'm not going to tell you not to. If you have the money to do it, do it. I love gear. I'm not going to hate on anyone for buying gear, but for appropriate, you know, measures, price, all that stuff, it's definitely good choices. And, you know, the FliK could be a good one for you. This is Krik, signing out with Black Outdoors. Later, turtles.